at least has been one incident which is true of an infraction by a uniformed person. That person has been withdrawn from the operation and they are investigating and dealing with it. Later this morning, we will show you a lot of the videos that are circulating which are indeed false, and the context, the actual times and context in which those videos were taken. We also would like to make the point that the state takes very seriously any effort at this time to use misinformation to thwart efforts. And already a number of reports have been made to the police and the investigative agencies to find persons who are in the business of perpetuating this and bring them to book. We'll do that shortly, but the general picture is that generally people are complying. In the coming days, we will see a lot less vehicular traffic as they get a full grasp of the situation on hand. Now, the second matter that we want to deal with this morning is the provision for the homeless and the vulnerable. Shortly, I would invite the Minister responsible for social protection to assist us with a brief on that. But simply, very quickly, in Chi, the first part of our brief, Yene Aspono na Edike Din Komo, Brigadier General Insia, ana Acheche Mo say, Beye Donhiri Edu Numa Omufi Ejuma Naseno, Oma Bomode say, Baby Bibria, Soldier for near police for Wa, Omohema instructions I demand in us will be antinefino. Ye disunipa kakra na omo akwencha ombeba kroma be bibi no omumra no monye ebio or science or boy en kokose enkomo bebre koso say asufo nam kromo obu nkofo ne ade na enye no kre de no kre wo de anye kra omunim se ba ko asia omohwe na omodi ojuma, but generally no videos ni bebre anye no kra no pay yenya bra ye beda na de achemo. Honorable Minister, the vulnerable and the homeless are a cohort that we have been speaking about for a while now. We observed instances where the vulnerable, including Kayaye, have been too clear on how they will be catered for during this period. The Honorable Minister for Social Protection and Gender, as I mentioned, and the Minister responsible for National Security have completed some work on measures to mitigate the impact of the restrictions on the poor and vulnerable. Honorable Minister, please join us with an update.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. The Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection has come out with mitigating measures to safeguard the health and well-being of the vulnerable groups in Ghana amid the coronavirus pandemic and subsequent lockdown of the affected areas of Ghana. That is Kumasi, Accra, Tema, and Kaswa. In view of the above, the ministry is implementing the following measures. We had meetings with COVID-19 Planning Committee, that's the National Security, NADMO, and the Ministry of Finance, updated the KIA data for visiting various marketplaces with their leaders. I personally went around the markets where we have most of our KIA to make sure that at least we have a forehand information on how things are going. Then we went to where they live, so at least we know that some of them are residents, they've rented little apartments and they live in, and we have those who also live on the streets. We have also visited some facilities where we think it's suitable to accommodate our brothers and sisters on the street. We have a few men, that is why I add brothers and sisters on the streets. Those without place of abode, we are going to keep them for the 2 weeks that we have imposed these measures. We currently have like 15,000 of them that we are going to cater for. For those who have the apartments, we'll find ways of sending logistics to them to keep them away from coming to town. And for those that we are going to keep, identified places that we have found, we are going to cater for them. There's going to be enough food, there's going to be enough water. We have corporate bodies cooking for like 6,000, other group cooking like for 4,000. So all in all, we have enough food for them. We are also sending food to people on the street. We have like the mental retarded people. We are picking 20 and they are going to be clean. They are not going to come back on the street. 20 of them, facility tells us that they can only take 20 and keep clean. And others we are going to feed. So we are going to give them food every day. Give them food, give them water twice a day. We haven't thought of the breakfast yet, so we are still going through. We have drinks and things, so we'll supply them with. And then the medical assistance that we can provide for them also. The food we are going to provide is going to be hot meal, and I will treat if we can get the journalists go around and see exactly what we are saying, whether it being complied. When we keep our brothers and sisters, we are not just going to keep them, we are going to train them on personal hygiene. Because those who came from Ejusu yesterday, we realized that we need to train them on personal hygiene, how to use a sanitizer. We are providing 15,000 sanitizers. FBA came over to help us. Mimi is here. Mimi, thank you so much. They are providing 15,000 sanitizers. Sample is here. I'll show to you so that at least when we say they should wash their hands with soap and water and use sanitizers, we are not just saying in vain, but we are providing for them. We are going to give them soap and water also. There are Veronica buckets on the compound where they are going to be kept, and make sure that we train them to do the personal hygiene. We are also going to train them on social distancing. It is something that is very important because we realize that they always cluster. So we have to teach them on social distancing, and that is something that we are going to take very seriously. By keeping them also, what we are going to do is that we have done headcount, we have the list already. We already have their data. Because some of them have moved before the ban, we cannot use data. Otherwise, we are going to spend for nothing. So that is why we went around to collect the data on the ground, the people who are left behind. Those are the people we are catering for. We register them, give identity. After everything, we are going to separate the younger ones from the older ones because some of them are really supposed to be in town doing Kayo. A Kayo at 13 or 12. By the time that lady turns 25, what do you think would happen to her? And so for those younger ones, would let go back home and go to school because we know that education is free now. So after separation, when we register them, we will not allow any younger lady to be a Kayo. We will only use the adults who are using it for work. That is their work. And then make sure that we do the screening for them, and then we make sure that they are healthy even though they still want to be in that trade of Kayo. We are also going to do grooming and deportment for them. We have young ladies. Already we have 20 Kaye that we took from the streets who are now attending journalism, who are doing dressmaking, fashion design and all that. So we are bringing our trainers to come and train them. We are grooming these ones because we know sitting at one place for 2 weeks is going to be a little boring. So we'll make it exciting for them. After that, we do the separation. In Kumasi and Accra, where we are going to send the food, we are doing NIM, CMB, Malamata Market, Agbogloshi, Tema Station, but some of them live there. So we are doing the Circle, Tiptoe Lane, Pick Malajo, Accra, Newtown, Mamobi, exactly where they are. That is where we are sending the food. In Ashanti region also, we are doing same. We are doing Adiabeba High Tension, Moshi Zongo, Ayano, Moshi Zongo, Alaba, Subin, and in all we have Subin, Market, Daba Station and all that. We are providing them with food and water, and we are all screening them. Yesterday we thanked Minister of Health. They were there to do the screening, take their temperature and make sure that if their temperature goes high, then they go for isolation and then they test them. But yesterday we didn't get any sample of anybody's temperature going high. And so we think we are in the range. Today, when we pick them up, we are going to same. And we continue doing it until we are sure that none of them is a threat to the others, so that at least by the time they come out of where we are keeping them, we'll know that they are all safe. Minister, I think that's about all for them. We are also taking care of the people with disability. We have over 10,435 people with disability that we are also going to take care of. And then we're also taking care of the mental people that we have said. Director is not here. He would have given us the updates of those that we are taking. So basically that is what we're doing. When we sit and there are any questions, we'll answer. Thank you very much.
Honorable Minister, thank you for the update. So in terms of feeding is being provided for. They are also being, or they will be given a day stipend of how much? Okay. It will be good to put that figure out at some point in time, but there will be a daily stipend at some point. And then in terms of accommodation, you've identified places where we are very grateful. We will take some questions for the Honorable Minister. And then the toiletries and other sanitary items as well. Because as the President mentioned, the homeless and the vulnerable are a key cohort that we need to also respond to. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to the third part of our brief this morning, which is to, and that is the health brief. We want to give a quick update on case count and case management, but we want to start off with some clarification on the enhanced testing we've been talking about. You recall that on Sunday, when we provided a brief, we explained what we wanted to do by enhanced testing. Since then, there have been reports that government intends to do compulsory testing or mass testing in some areas, and it's important to really clear this up. If there are letters that are flying around that have been issued by some local teams suggesting that compulsory testing exercises are intended in their areas. For the avoidance of doubt, the government of Ghana just wants to update on what the enhanced testing program is. It has two parts. One, there are those who fall within the basket of what we call the contact tracing and testing. They are the persons who we know have come into contact with positive cases. There's a second cohort of that contact tracing and testing, which is made up of persons who came into the Ghanaian jurisdiction with a particular window. These are the persons that primarily we seek to trace and test. And already the engagement